Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the area known as Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they get a stern road test as they come into this one after losing in London a week ago.
Yeah, the schedule makers gave them a pretty tough stretch here. I think we'll know early on whether these guys are ready to play.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first. Time to roll through the starters now defensively for Miami. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And the mantra of this unit, get to the football. Fly to the ball carrier. And you know how you can tell that they do it really well? At the end of each play, when you click off the frame, count the number of guys that are around the ball carrier. It's always 7, 8, 9 guys. They get to them each and every play.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. They'll run on 1st down. It's Evans. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Credit there goes to those guys up front.
Certainly does, but we're also seeing how quarterbacks are doing it nowadays on the sneak. When I played high school ball, my coach John Ford used to say, just get down behind those guys and pick up the 1st down. Now these guys might hesitate a count, use their vision in their eyes, and find the crease and dive for it that way.
On 1st down, it's Armstrong, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. For New England, this is how they will line things up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They're running it. Check nine, check nine.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Brissett sets to throw it, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook.
I'm going to get you all day, baby.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's in different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at point.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This for his running back, McCoy. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Brissett. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Watch the twist.
Back to the ground, Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Brissett. Able to find Isabella. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this is Cook with a grab. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsors saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. But then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement, but plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal. I know that the guys on defense, though, they wanted to get those products out there. They wanted to stop that drive, just weren't able to do so.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time, John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The end result, 21 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now back to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
We'll see if he can look and do some soul searching now. They start the drive with Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brissett. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Brissett again. And Thomas has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brissett. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. They'll throw again. Brissett. Short throw. This is Seals-Jones with it. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Brissett. Going to throw right side here. Complete.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And this one is right through. And that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He completes it to Evans. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Ito Smith with a touchdown run. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Joe Mixon, a couple of touchdown runs. Lastly, we'll grab our passports and head down to Mexico City. See what's going on in the International Series. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Chiefs. The Chargers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they do.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On second and very short, Brissett under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He finds McCoy. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. They run it again with Cook. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Rashawn Gary able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence. Because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
Again, it's Cook. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And another tackle broken. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Dalvin Cook, 77 yards. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Up to make the tackle, J.C. Jackson. 2nd and 9 now. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. On play action. They'll throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's looking sharp here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave a little bounce. Came out.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Brissett. Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And that will bounce out of bounds, but return going. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. It's a
6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On second down now, it's Evans, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He can run for it, and he will. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On second down, it's Armstrong, and they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a
rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough task here, though. 3rd and long. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the lead is cut to 2 now. It's 15-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Brissett going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Flushed out right. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Check cross, check cross, check cross. 80 weapon, 80 weapon.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They don't go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, it might reduce it. Might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on first down. Evans. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal. Second and goal from the 1.
Watch 35, watch 35.
Fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Ready, ready, ready. Watch tight end. Ready.
On third down, it's Evans. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. Seibert's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Let's go. Let's go.
So the Patriots now down 16-15. And time, a huge factor. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on first down. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Brissett. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Brissett. This one caught by Isabella. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Brissett looks to throw. That's Isabella open on the right side. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Now Brissett. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one a first down pickup of 8. We're going into the final play of this game. They knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Dolphins, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.